I'm running out the door. I only have a minute, but I haven't recorded in a while, which I will explain at some point, but not right now. Today was supposed to be this crazy day. We were supposed to be driving out an hour to. I was supposed to be driving, well, going in the car, not driving myself because I don't drive. But the girls and I were supposed to be going with Ian out to this festival that he was dancing at an hour away. Getting there for him to get ready, seeing him dance, being at the festival for a little bit of time, hopping back in the car, driving to another state to see Galen and Elijah's band playing at a festival that they're playing at. Really, really, really long day. I love watching them all perform, but really long day. And then at the very last minute, Ian's got canceled. Well, it didn't get canceled. They're still dancing, but they cut him out of the dances. He hurt his toe earlier this week, and he told the person running it that he hurt the toe, that he was going to take the week off from dancing, but that he was going to perform. And they decided just to be safe to cut him out of the dances. And so I was up half the night, got up early to get ready to get out the door, running around like a crazy person. We're literally walking out the door. He decides to check his email before we leave, and here they wrote him out of the dances. So I could have stayed in bed this morning. I'm a little bit miffed. At the same time, I'm a little bit glad we didn't go because it was in an area that we used to live in, and I would have run into a lot of people. And as much as I would like to see those people, I'm just not in that place right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you see people you haven't seen for 10 years, you want to be like, oh, hi, how are you? Things are great. And, you want to feel your best, look your best, all of that stuff. And I am just not in that place right now. And I just seemed like a whole lot of energy and effort to do that small talk thing, that smiling small talk thing. Does that make me awful? But I wasn't in that place, and it's not like you're gonna like genuinely catch up with the people. You're just doing that. Oh, how are you? We're good. Well, you're good too. Oh, how are the kids? Oh, they're growing so much. Blah 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 thing. Because it's just in passing, and there could have been 20 or 30 people that I did that with if we had gone this morning. So I'm a little bit glad we didn't, but I would have liked to see him dance because I haven't seen him dance since March. He's been doing shows. They do shows all around, but there's always been some kind of a conflict or something that didn't make sense about us going. So I'll see him dance again in October though, and then again in December. So it's not that big a deal, and I'd rather the toe that he hurt heal anyway. So now we have to get out the door. We came back home, or we stayed at home. We did other things, but now we're leaving in about 10 minutes. So I'm really pushing it doing this. I think knitting. I have a ton of knitting to show you. I got some pictures of some things. Mostly I didn't though, and massive cone of yarn. I knew we were going to be in the car a lot in the next couple of weeks, including today, and we have a lot of doctor's appointments coming up and they're over an hour away, and I wanted really, really, really simple knitting for the car. So when we were cleaning out our homeschool space, because we had to move out of the building, story for another time, someone had donated a bunch of yarn to us, and we all had to take home everything that was in the space that we wanted to keep. Serafina was trying to convince me to bring home piles of this like lurid color acrylic yarn that felt like, oh, I can't even explain what it felt like. It felt like, ooh, I don't know, but something awful. It felt like shredded up plastic that was, I mean, like some acrylic yarn, soft and a nice feeling and all of that. And this was old stuff that was just, whoa. Like trash bags, like somebody spun trash bags, only in horrible bright fluorescent colors that were just not Anyhow, she also liked this. This was here, and this is a cotton, um, and it's all shades of blue and purple and pink and green. And so I basically told her, we can't take it all home. We don't have room. She wanted this and the other things. I said, if we take home this, I'll knit your dress. So there's a ton of it. Um, so that's what I'm doing. I don't like knitting with cotton yarn very much. It doesn't have much give. Um, so it's not very pleasant, but I just want it really, really simple for the car coming up. So this has a little peacock etching on it. It's hard to see, and it's all curled up. It'll be nicer when it's all blocked. But it has a little peacock etching on it, which I made a point of doing at home this week, knowing that I would want to do just the straight stockinette stitch in the car in the upcoming days. And she just grew into these little hand-me-down shoes from a friend, and she's super excited because the flowers on the shoes are the same color as the yarn. And now I better go, or else I'm not going to be ready. We have a friend, one of my best friends, fellow band mother, is following us out to the concert. And she should be here in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go. More later. So I'm trying something absolutely crazy and utterly different. It's blinding out here, and I don't think this adjusts. I can't tell if it's just the screen or if it's actually recording me as a blurry, blobby ghost. So, we have had 3 appliances need to be replaced this month, including the dryer. Which has had good effect of finally making us fix the clothesline. So that's something. Been meaning to do that for quite some time now, and I'm glad to have it up and going again. Been awful about drying my clothes on the line. Used to be that I always dried my clothes on the line. When we first moved out into this area, first thing we did, I insisted before we worked on the house, before we did anything else, was put up a clothesline. It was one of those nice ones with the wood posts, like the Y-shaped posts, and bar across the top, and with 6 lines on it. And I used that for years and years. I was at an old house. But yeah, I've not been any good at it for years because I've just been so busy with everything else. And I feel guilty about it, but that's the way it is. I'm guessing I'm not the only person who's not drying all their clothes on a clothesline. So, dryer went. Stove started leaking propane. Not in this order. The refrigerator. The refrigerator is a funny one. The refrigerator is only a couple of years old. The refrigerator door fell off. I was upstairs. Oh, see if this came clean. So look at this. Did it come clean? Not quite. Still a bit of a stain. My friend Stephanie made this for me because all of my hand towels were absolutely cruddy when Steve was out of work, and I was worked up because we had house guests coming and my towels were all gross. I was so embarrassed about it.
And she crocheted me a hand towel and a couple little washcloth things to use, which was really sweet. I actually have her son here right now. They were having a sleepover, and my hair is wet, even though it's, I don't know, it's almost 2 o'clock, because I wanted to take a bath this morning, but they were still asleep, and the tub's right across from their room, and I didn't want to disturb them. But finally, at 12:20, I said, you know what, guys? Got to get on with my day. I was doing stuff anyway, but I hadn't actually gotten ready for the day because I was trying not to wake them. Anyhow, refrigerator. Oh, the stain on the towel was because they were staining guitars last night. Elijah's been helping members of his band and other friends to build electric guitars from kits. They were staining a guitar red, and it was actually Ian who got red all over my towel. I had words. It's okay. But I don't know. I have a special hand towel. Is that weird? Anyhow, one more time. Try the refrigerator again. So I was upstairs, and everybody else was outside except for Elijah. And I heard this tremendous crashing, and in a panic, I come running downstairs. What happened? What happened? Are you okay, Elijah? Are you okay? He says, I'm fine. I walk in. The refrigerator door has fallen off. Now, wouldn't have been quite such a big deal if we had a regular refrigerator, but we had one with the freezer on the bottom and the refrigerator on the top. Regular refrigerator, door would have fallen a couple of inches, still wouldn't have been great. This kind of refrigerator, the door fell several feet. All the shelves broke, everything in it, and it had those big, deep shelves that you can fit like full gallons of milk on, giant jars of sauerkraut, shattered everywhere. There's milk dripping into the pantry that's all curdled because it mixed with the broken jar of mustard.
What?
I'm recording. Hi. Hi, sweetheart.
Mama,
Yes.
that was somehow getting around. I couldn't take it anymore. Around all the candy.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't take it anymore. I needed to try that. I did.
I'm glad you didn't.
I needed to try it.
Maybe we can make you a treat later.
Right this second.
Right this second, I am hanging the laundry.
Or buy me a treat. Buying treats are best.
Buying treats are best. Well,
Yes.
we'll see. We'll
And
see.
buy treats.
This was another one from Stephanie. Okay. Hi, sweetheart. You want to say hi? Hi.
I can't. Say hello. I'm not telling it.
You see you right there. They can see you.
Stand right here, so I'm taller. Hi.
You having a good day? Yes. I know. Somebody put my clothespins in your basket. I have to return that to you. This is a little rope basket that I sewed years ago for, actually, Mari to keep some toys in. It was an old clothesline that we weren't using. I don't remember why, what happened to it. And I let her paint it with paint. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but it's got yellow and pink paint splotches before I sewed it up. And usually it holds little wooden animals. Right now it has my clothespins in it. I don't know why. I didn't actually put them there. Someone else did. Anyhow, back to the refrigerator. Can you wait a few minutes? I'm almost done this.
I couldn't take any more with it.
I know, I heard. Can we talk about that after, though? Thank
You
you.
have to buy me. I think that candy would be best to buy me, or maybe an entire bag of Jelly Beans.
Ah, yeah, I don't feel like that is what it was.
I've been around too much outfit that I need.
I made that
Summer,
years ago. It was actually going to be a rug for the boys' room when they were little, and then I never made the rug, so I finally just started using it as a washcloth because it's cotton washcloth. Anyway, so the refrigerator, so stuff spilled everywhere, absolutely everywhere, shattered glass, whole thing, it's a mess. I had my friend's daughter, Stephanie, of the crocheted things down the line. And we were supposed to be meeting them at the pond, and running out of clothespins. Could you run in and get me more clothespins? They're on the desk. And we were supposed to be meeting her at the pond, like we were about to walk out the door, and when this happened. So I said to Elijah, okay, and I'm looking at this mess. I guess I should go call Stephanie because we're obviously not going to be there soon. Thank you, my love. Thank you, sweetheart. So I called her cell phone and told her what had happened, and she actually came and picked up the girls and took them to the pond, and we stayed home. But when I came back from calling, I walk in the room, and Elijah is standing in the middle of this mess, pools of stuff, broken glass everywhere, no door on the refrigerator, the whole thing lit up, and standing in this mess with a bottle of ketchup in one hand and a hot dog in the other, eating. And I looked at him, and he looked at me. He's like, "What? That's what I went in there for." So we stayed home. We cleaned it up. I took a picture, but we had already cleaned up 2/3 of the mess, I think. And it was kind of one of those, okay, deal with this thing, and then stand back and go, what do I do next? And I was just standing back like, I don't even know where to go from here. How do I clean up this disgusting mess? And what do I do? I don't have a door on my refrigerator. There's 7 people in this house. We need a refrigerator. What do I do? So I was standing there having this moment, and I was like, nobody's even going to believe this. This is so ridiculous. Our refrigerator door fell off. That's ridiculous. So I took a picture. And I'll include it in here, but that's what happened to the refrigerator.
Can I have some raisins and cookies?
Yes, you may. Ask Mari to help you get it, please. Can you do it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine too. So I'll include the picture of the ridiculousness. So 3 appliances, the clutch on our car. We had to replace the faucet in the kitchen. We've replaced it twice already since we moved in this house. We've lived here for 7 years. We've replaced it twice. And the last time was about 7 months ago, and it's broken and it's leaking. And now we're having trouble with the plumbing upstairs, and it's just been endless. It's been that kind of month. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. It's ridiculous. And I had a really hard time shopping for appliances because it really totally offends me. Absolutely, just to my core, the way that appliances are made now, that they are made to only last 5 years. And it used to be that, you'd get married and you'd come home from your honeymoon and you'd get a refrigerator that would last you 20 years. And now, 5 years. It is so wasteful and it's so horrendous, and it just upsets me so much. I really don't have words for how upsetting I find that. It's so wasteful of all resources, and it's frustrating, and it wastes money, and it wastes time, and there's frustration, and I hate it. So, with everything except for the refrigerator, and I had reasons for the refrigerator not being as basic, but it is pretty basic. I went with the most basic things I could get. I mean, the most basic stove that had an okay rating. It doesn't have a clock. It has nothing computerized. It has nothing, no control panel that's going to break and need to be replaced. It has no, yeah, nothing. There are literally 5 knobs on the front of it, 4 for the burners, 1 for the oven. You turn it to the temperature, the end. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with it. I'm really happy with it. One thing that I didn't even think of that I don't understand why this makes me so happy, but it does, like ridiculously happy. It's so quiet. It's so quiet. It doesn't beep at all, ever. Our last oven, you hit cook and it beeped. You hit the temperature and everything. Every time you go up in temperature, beep, 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 beep. You get to the point that you want it at, you hit the set thing, beep. And then you leave it to preheat. When it's preheated, beep. It's so quiet. I love that it is so quiet. I love it. It's ridiculous how much I love it. So that's my little, and I hope it lasts forever. I hope it lasts forever. I hope it lasts because there's so little that can break on it. I really hope it lasts. I guess we'll see. These that I'm hanging up now are napkins that we've made over the years. Every few Thanksgivings or so, the kids and I make kind of a batch of napkins to have nice new ones for Thanksgiving. And these are from Thanksgivings past. This one's a really old one. It's barely in good shape anymore, but this was from many Thanksgivings ago. And it was made out of fabric left over from Christmas pajamas. We had some lovely friends over for that Thanksgiving. It was a nice Thanksgiving. And the other ones are more recent, a couple of years ago, I guess. And that's what I'm hanging up now. So, don't know that I planned on talking about this. Nor would I, since I didn't plan it, I don't know what I'm going to say. It turns out, health-wise, that I'm having some issues again. And by which I mean I never stopped having issues. I've had some new issues diagnosed. Finally got on top of the anemia, was still absolutely bloody exhausted, just so exhausted, everything exhausting, just exhausted all the time. Didn't matter how much I slept, didn't matter, nothing mattered, I was just exhausted. More Thanksgiving napkins of various varieties from various years. These ones are linen. I started to see a naturopath, and she said something's not right here. And she ran some tests. She was supposed to be going out of the country for a few weeks, and I got a call on a Saturday after she was ready to leave. She was like leaving in 2 days. And I got a call from the office saying, you've got tests back, the doctor needs to talk to you. When can she call you? She's on her way to visit her father out of state. When can she call you? So obviously that's not good. That is not good news. Long story short, I have had kind of a rip-roaring case of Epstein-Barr virus, which is the virus that causes mono. And the way it's supposed to work is that you are either exposed to it as a child and have no response, no real reaction to it, or you get it as a teen or a young adult and you end up with mono. Either way, once you get past that, it's supposed to lay dormant in your system for the rest of your life. Not the case for me. I have had it. I've had tests that have shown that I've had it. Um, it is currently reactivated in my system, and I'm fighting it again. And one of the problems with that is the longer that you have it and the more often you fight it, it starts to attack organs and things like that. Just not great. And there it is. And that's part of why I haven't been posting lately, because I've just been too tired and too busy with all of the household catastrophes and endless health problems. And who wants to hear about that? Nobody wants to hear about that. What? Nobody wants to hear about that. That is not a fun podcast to make. But that is my life. So there it is. Here I am. Trying to get on top of it. Don't know what'll happen. I'm guessing it was reactivated with my concussion, because it tends to reactivate when your body is weak and either you're very stressed or sick with something else, or it can be a physical trauma as well. And that's kind of part of what has complicated my healing from the concussion. So that's where I'm at. I'm out of room on my clothesline. I'm going to go hang up the rest of this inside. My kids used to do this all the time when they were little. Crackle fingers! Which proves I did used to hang up my clothes. Even if I don't so much anymore. Hoping to keep up with it a little more, even once the dryer comes tomorrow. But I'm so thankful that the dryer is coming. Shh. Don't tell. I'm a bad environmentalist. Just tired. I'm sorry. I'm tired. All right, come on, talk to you in a minute. And here's what we've accomplished. A full line and a little grasshopper. I don't know if you can see it. I can't tell, but I'm actually filming. But the clothesline is full on this very, very sunny day. My disaster of a garden's in the background. This is our backyard. It's all treed in, as you can see. We live in the woods. I'll talk to you soon.